Welcome to episode 2 of Project M. I am Tanner Guzzi here with Brandon King. And go ahead.
Here we are.
Okay, today in episode 2, we're going to talk about what our first challenge was, how it went, why we did it, what it was like, and then we're also going to introduce you guys to what our next challenge is, what we're going to do in September.
Yeah, really excited.
Yeah, okay, so Brandon, break it down for us. What did we do this first month?
All right, this first month, just to try something, right? It was a good opener, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Marine Corps PFT.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Pull-ups. Are they crunches or sit-ups?
Crunches, yeah.
And then pull-ups or chin-ups.
Chin-ups. Either is acceptable.
Either
Man,
is
I got
acceptable.
so much crap on Twitter. Yeah. That's not a pull-up. I know, but the Marine Corps doesn't care.
The Marine Corps doesn't care. If you're hanging on the edge of a cliff.
Right.
I mean, you can't grab a cliff
like
this.
Yeah, that's true. But there are ways that would matter, right?
If you're hanging off of a tree. Off the edge of a
yes. Or the mast of a ship.
That's right. You can grab it either way. So, yeah.
And then a 3-mile run.
And then a 3-mile run.
Yes. Which I found out something interesting related to that. I had a guy who was in the Marine Corps DM me on Instagram, and we were talking about it. He was talking about training for it and everything else. And apparently the real way to do it, the run time doesn't matter as much because the points are super stacked in favor of pull-ups and crunches.
I saw that.
Apparently, if you do crunches right, you're an idiot if you can't do 100. So we're both idiots.
Okay.
Yeah, and pull-ups are the big one, but you should, if you get a perfect score on the pull-ups and the crunches, which apparently isn't as difficult as we thought it was, then you can do the 3 miles in 27 minutes and still get first class.
Oh.
Not just pass, get first class.
Okay.
Yeah. And apparently the way that it works is first, second, third class, all that has to do with promotions and ranks and everything else within
points?
there. Yes, it's all point stipulation. Yep, absolutely.
So he's saying you can sandbag the run.
Right. And just focus on getting your pull-ups and your crunches right.
It's harder to make up the points in the run.
Exactly. Because if you do an 18-mile or an 18-minute 3 miles and you perfect score that, but you only get 5 pull-ups,
you're going to be penalized
heavier. Yeah, you're in trouble. The other thing that he said that was super interesting, because a lot of people, especially in the fitness industry now, are anti-running. They're anti any sort of, who cares? I had one guy, this is a skinny guy competition, blah, blah, blah. And he said that one of the reasons why the Marine Corps instituted this 3-mile run is apparently if you're caught as a prisoner of war and you can get outside of a 3-mile radius of where you were, then your likelihood of being able to escape goes up exponentially.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that had anything to do with it because the Army does a 2-mile, or there are other ways that they do, other branches will do different things. But apparently that 3-mile is kind of your make or break spot as far as are you actually going to escape as a prisoner of war. And obviously the faster you can get outside of that 3-mile radius, the better. Wow. Which I thought was really interesting.
That's super interesting.
Yeah. So we weren't thinking about any of that when we started it. The reality is I was watching YouTube videos and I saw one that pulled up on my Explore bar or whatever, and it was some chick who had done it and got a perfect score. And I watched her, and for the women, it was 11 pull-ups. It was still 105 crunches, and then it was 3 miles in 21 minutes.
Right.
And so she's still, still super impressive. Yeah.
Was she? What did she look like? Was she like?
She was an athlete.
Her build,
Yeah, she was definitely one of those. She was a fitness chick.
Okay.
Yeah, and the ability for her to do that kind of cardio and for her to be able to do the pull-ups, because most fitness chicks, it's just all legs all the time, right? And so for her to be able to do that, I was very impressed with this girl. It was awesome. And then I was watching and I thought, well, okay, well, this is cool. Let's see,
try it.
Can I do this?
I think that's where this started, right? Let's try it.
Exactly.
Let's see.
Which is what's so fun about it is it's this idea of, let's just try it.
It doesn't have to do anything more than that.
No.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons why it did so well is because everybody could just try it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to buy a bunch of equipment. It's not like you had to really invest a ton of time or anything else like that. It was 2 hours on a Saturday to go give it a try. Obviously, we put more time into it than that, having done it once in training. So you and I did it first a month ago.
Right.
And what was it like for you the first time we did it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like points-wise, that is what I came away from is I'm a little bit bigger guy, and we did it with another friend, and points-wise, he kicked my butt.
Right.
2 of the challenges, I ate his lunch and still got my butt kicked in the points. So
Crazy, right?
I definitely felt like what you were saying, like what he said. Like,
yeah, because you guys were dead even, but no, you got more crunches than he did.
I got a couple more crunches
and you were like 3 minutes ahead of him on the run.
Yeah.
But 5 pull-ups versus 12 or 13, and he killed you as far as the points were concerned.
Yeah. No,
that's a really good point. So was that frustrating?
A little bit. I mean, not really, because let's be honest, like he's in better shape than I am. So like,
You kind of expected it going in.
Well, I did see like how the scoring was skewed towards somebody, I don't know what you want to call it, of his build or of his athleticism. I also do recognize that he's in better shape, which we'll talk a little bit about, I think, when we introduce our next challenge.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, did you do any sort of training or anything between?
I didn't do anything. Well, I guess
It's not like you were a couch potato and you didn't do anything.
No. So I stuck with my normal gym routine.
Okay.
And then I did start running a little bit more. I did train the run, I guess you would say, a little bit.
Did you ever do anything more than 3 miles?
No, I just trained exactly 3 miles.
Yeah.
I maybe not because of the challenge, but I think 3 miles is just a good amount to run.
I agree with that.
Whatever. You run like 9 miles. I see you're strong.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm training for a half marathon, so I'm putting more miles on there. But I feel like I would have, and I'm having to train to be able to do 9 or 13 miles. But I feel like at any point in my life, I should be able to go run 3 miles without feeling totally gassed.
Yeah. What's your like ideal run? Like, is running enjoyable to you?
It's getting more so that way. Yeah, I think part of it is that I come from a family of runners, and so maybe genetically that's been bred into me.
Right. So what's like? Because I would say like a 3 mile run is enough to where like I'm tired. I feel like I got a workout in, but it's not like any more than 3 miles. I'm not having. Not that running's fun, but like
the enjoyment level just drops significantly.
It becomes annoying, rather than a good workout.
Right.
What's that length for you?
So I love doing 3 miles and trying to go fast, or being able to. For me, I can get into kind of the sweet spot and the rhythm and everything if I'm more at like 7 or 8 or longer than that. But I'm sure. I did 13 2 weeks ago. I'm sure at 20, if I get to that point, that I'm going to be hating that.
Yeah, maybe it's just a function of your fitness, right?
Maybe.
Where you're at.
Yeah, but I do think that as far as maintaining a good level of fitness, for my own mental sanity and the fact that it's fun, like my kids, if they want to go play or they want to go do, like I should have the cardio capacity to just be able to go run 3 miles and not die as a result of doing
Seems
that.
Seems like decent amount.
Yeah. Or that it's, okay, well, the family's going to go do a Thanksgiving 5K. Cool, I can go do that.
It's a respectable amount, I would say.
Yeah.
If you're running like 1 mile a day, like good for you.
Right.
3 miles is at least something where, it was worth your time lacing your shoes
and there's some, exactly.
I guess that's what I mean by
because I did one day, I did a mile run just to see if I could do it. And part of it was because, and again, the competition aspect of this is what's really fun. My buddy Jack Donovan, who is a beast. Right. He's 197 pounds. Yeah, the dude can bench 315. Right?
Skinny people.
Exactly. He can overhead press 225. Yeah. I mean, he's a freaking monster.
Right.
And I thought, okay, well, because of how he is, he's not going to be able to do pull-ups probably, but what's his runtime going to be? 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Dude, he finished in 19:18, and at one point he did a 1 mile run, and he was at 5:52.
Guy was moving,
and he's 44 years old.
Yeah,
but what's fun about that is that it made me go, okay, how fast can I do a mile?
Right.
And can I do it faster than this guy who weighs 20 pounds more than I do and is 10 years older? And I couldn't.
Yeah.
I got, I think, 6:03.
Yeah.
Or 6, which I need. Now that's a personal thing for me. It's like I got to get sub 6. Yeah. I got to break 6. And that to me is what has been so fun about this challenge is it's taken things that have not been goals or benchmarks or things like that for me and turned them into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So would we be Marines? Is that we're in?
We qualify.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is great. Okay, so you did kind of your regular level of training and
you actually trained it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it helps that I am at a phase where my training already consists of my doing running.
By the way, I should just interject. This has been like my relationship with Tanner is like, oh, let's go give this a try, and it's whatever Tanner's been focused on for like the past 6 months of his life. Oh, let's go. Tanner's been hitting the gym really hard. Let's go have a deadlift competition. All right, cool, yeah. And I'm just showing up fresh, and Tanner's been putting in like 6 months of training on it.
In my defense, as soon as you present something that you've been doing for the last 6 months, I will gladly go do it with you and have you mop the floor with me.
Fair enough. There's something to that.
And part of it is because that's just how I'm wired, where I get into something, the focus gets there, and let's just keep going with it. Exactly. I'm actually doing something with the guys in the neighborhood right now, where we're putting in a bunch of gym equipment down in the basement.
Yeah.
and we're doing this. We're doing it with the Elders Quorum,
Right.
where we're going to do a deadlift and donuts day, and I want to do it in November.
Yeah.
And so it gives the guys an excuse to come train at my house. I can get to know my neighborhood a little bit better,
Right.
and then we can just kind of compete with it. And for me,
Right.
it's like I want to be training. I want to get better at
Yeah.
my deadlift anyway. So
Yeah.
why not invite a bunch of other dudes to
guys
come
out.
do it and
Yeah.
have some fun? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, as far as my training, I was already doing the long runs. I was already doing the half marathon training. I was doing pull-ups once a week, doing weighted pull-ups as far as my strength training stuff that I still do
Right.
3 days a week, but it wasn't anything special.
Right.
Same thing with hanging leg raises as far as abs. And then I realized that if I wanted to make progress in those two, I needed to do something. So I bought a pull-up bar, I put it down in the basement, and I would try and do 5 sets of 10 every day.
Yeah.
Or I got to the point at the end where I was trying to get 5 sets of 13 or 14 and and I was really surprised and kind of frustrated that it was getting easier and easier to do more reps as I was going through the day.
Right.
But when it came down to the challenge itself, I only got one more rep.
One more.
And it barely counted. I
Man,
barely got
pull-ups
my
are
chin
so
over it.
hard.
They're so hard.
Yeah.
Right? And it's almost frustrating because with a lot of things where if you can squat 315,
Yeah.
then it's pretty easy to do. I don't know. I can't squat 315. But from what I understand from other guys who are really strong, and I've seen this myself where I can do 225 for 5 or 6
Right.
or one rep at 275. And then to do 95 for 20 is annoying.
Right.
And your legs burn, but it's possible. But for pull-ups, I can do 4 or 5 with 55 pounds hanging
Right.
around, but nope.
Yeah.
It did not translate into
scale,
more.
yeah.
Not at all. So for some reason that difference there made it interesting. So I was doing more of that. I should have trained abs more, but the big difference was just getting more of the technique of doing it where it was sets of 20.
Which you saw in the video.
Right. Yeah, and it was, I'm going to do 20, I'm going to rest for 3 seconds, and then I'm going to do 20 again and rest for 3 seconds as opposed to just trying to go through it all straight.
Yeah.
And I feel like that made the biggest difference.
Right. Yeah.
And this is another one of those things where I'm not content with the fact that everybody who's not a moron should be able to get 100 crunches.
Right.
I'm not a moron, so I need to get 100 crunches
But
in
you
2
can
minutes.
definitely see how the form would make a difference. there, right?
Absolutely.
It's not exactly a measure of strength.
Right. No, not at all. But I'm now still continuing to train that.
Right.
Whereas had I not done this challenge at all, I wouldn't have given abs or crunches or technique or any of
me
that
too.
any more attention.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see as we keep doing these challenges what elements we stick with, we keep doing, we follow through with, and just add to our normal routine, whether that's at the gym or what we do during the summer, like our summer vacations or our camping trips,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, because you're right. We're talking about one of the ideas is being able to kill, gut, clean, and cook a fish.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for that one, especially with my son to be able to come and do that. And is that going to change camping for me?
Right.
Am I going to enjoy fishing more? Because
Right.
I bought my first fishing pole this year. I hadn't done any fishing since I was maybe 13 in Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
And we went and bought the gear this year, and I caught a fish. My son caught his first fish, and we did it once. And now it's how do we do more of that?
How do we do more?
And that's what's so cool about this whole idea is it's not just taking a monthly challenge, and obviously not we don't have the capacity or the bandwidth
Right.
to be able to every little thing we do, especially some of them are habits. I'm not going to do stand-up comedy every month.
And that's fine.
Right, but I want to be a better storyteller.
Right.
I want to be funnier.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to do that. Or if we're gonna do a challenge that's related to making more money, then am I going to be able to take that little side hustle that would make an extra $1,000 that 1 month and then turn that into something else that becomes
Spin it up
recurring
into
revenue
something.
for me or something?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm really looking forward to that idea. And I think that one of the things that we're going to experience is as we do more and more of these, they will all become progressively easier because we're getting better in all these different arenas.
Right. Okay, so aside from just like bro talk on how'd you improve your pull-ups, man? Like how'd you get more pull-ups? Just like what did you learn about your individual fitness?
That's a good question. Okay.
And do you feel like these exercises were indicative? I guess that's probably
a good question.
A good question is after doing this, and we understand that the challenge has been adjusted,
right?
Maybe a little bit in some ways, but is this a fair? I guess you're able to run 3 miles to get away from your
captors. Yeah.
So maybe there's some specific skills or
I feel like it's limited.
that this gives you, but overall, like as a test of fitness, which is what it supposedly is, right? The physical fitness test. Does it really test your physical fitness?
I don't think so. I think it's limited.
Yeah.
I think that one of the ones my brother Ian is in the Army, and he was telling me about the new Army combat fitness test
Okay.
that they're going to start doing next year. And that's one where the first event is what your 3 rep max on a deadlift is.
Okay.
Because there was not a strength component to
Right.
this. And when it comes to things, and I know even within the Marines, their combat fitness test, which is different than their physical fitness test, at some point it's, can you fireman carry your buddy if you're under fire, and how fast can you do that? And so that kind of the strength inclusion was definitely missing from this. And that's where you definitely would have been able to do better than I.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I think so. Yeah, because we did something with some friends almost a year ago. I'm excited to do that one again, where we just tested out our bench and our deadlift 1 rep max, and you and I we were dead even on that.
pretty close.
And so you've made serious improvements as far as your training and everything with what you've been doing, and so I do think that element of it was missing.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be fun to find another challenge that's either just strength specific or another one that's going to be more inclusive.
In like elementary school, did you do? Was it like the presidential fitness test?
I never passed because I couldn't touch my toes.
Yeah. So is that? Yeah. What? I guess you got to get into what is fitness, right? To see if it was really a gauge of. And we've talked about this. What is fitness?
Yeah.
A little bit, which I think we had some different opinions, but
heaven forbid.
Yeah, that would be the first time. Yeah, that one like, that you did in elementary school was like flexibility. There was like some strength. Some
I remember you had to do pull-ups.
Stuff, right?
And, how fast you could run a mile and that kind of stuff.
No weights though, right?
No weights.
Yeah.
No, of course not. Yeah, but then you get other guys who are on the other side of the spectrum where it's unless it's the big 3, and basically unless you're competing in a strongman or a powerlifting competition, then it's not fitness at all.
Right.
And you're just doing girl stuff.
Right.
And there is an element of balance to all that, and they don't need to be totally mutual. I can't niche down and specialize in any of these because a marathoner is very different than a powerlifter as far as physique and diet and training. But there's no reason that I can't be competent in a lot of arenas.
Which I guess that was good to see, right? Is where I don't think, like you mentioned, Jack Donovan. I don't think he's, his main focus. I don't know the guy. Mm-hmm. I gotta be careful what I say because that guy scares me a little bit. I don't want him like coming after
Jack's
me.
listening.
Yeah. This ever does get back to him. But he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's training his 3-mile run.
No, not at all. In fact, he told me that the only reason that he had been doing any running was because it was part of his boxing and MMA conditioning.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was very competent, right? Like where maybe this isn't his particular brand of fitness, but because he's fit,
he could do it.
He could do it.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's kind of what I took away from it. Is, this might not be what my focus or whatever someone's focus is. But a fit person should be able to be competent at these things.
Yep, I would agree with that completely. And that's what's fun about that particular challenge is it's just you should be able to do those 3 things. Not perfect score all of them.
Right.
There's a reason that they're scored the way that they are. But you should be able to pass on all 3 of those things. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what we want to do for September.
Yeah.
This was your idea, so I want you to tee it up.
Yeah, so we're going to go... I don't know if this is like a regional term. We're going to get a body scan.
Mm-hmm.
Is there...
Like a bod pod. It's not a full DEXA scan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There's a bunch of different ways.
I think even DEXA is like a local term, I think.
No, because I know that my buddy Greg in Toronto uses that term.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He calls it DEXA. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, we're going to go get one of these scans, and then we're going to set a goal. And we're going to... I don't know who we talk to, but we're going to talk to someone and figure out some sort of ratio where it makes it somewhat equal in terms of what we're competing against.
Well, okay, but because what we're both wanting to do, because it's going to test for our body fat percentage and our muscle mass, right? And I assume that we're both wanting to drop some body fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's different... My drop in body fat is going to be easier than your drop in body fat.
Right, because you're at a higher percentage than I am. Yeah, how are we going to test that?
I don't know how... We've got to find... I don't know if we just talk to some sort of professional and say, all right, here's our scan. You set our goals for us.
Yes.
You make the competition. If Tanner gets to X%.
Right, then that's commensurate with Brandon getting to Y.
Yeah, what's the ratio here? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think we can do that. Yeah. Between who they'll have there or obviously the community that we've got access to and that kind of stuff, I don't think it'll be that hard to be able to do. Okay, so this Saturday, which is like the 29th of August.
I think.
Yeah, so we're going to go get that done, and then we're going to do it again the last Saturday of September.
Yeah, sometime around either just after the end of September or at the end, very end of September.
And see what kind of progress we've made. Yeah. And then it's up to us to be able to determine what kind of training and diet and sleep and supplementation and Brandon's going to get on steroids and we're going to see what happens.
Absolutely getting on steroids. Yeah. No, so the reason I thought this would be fun as a first challenge, or I guess it's our second challenge, but
The first one that's not just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
First more intentional one.
It kind of stemmed from what I was talking about with you. I mean, I think a lot of guys struggle with their appearance or their fitness fat content. We'll put it in these terms, right?
Yeah.
Their body fat percentage.
Yep.
To put it in a scientific term. Basically,
Especially guys in our demographic, mid-30s, kids, desk job.
they want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there certainly are guys who are just like rail thin and they just need to put on some muscle.
Right.
Few and far between, I would think. Maybe it's, genetics, whatever. Maybe there is that guy out there. Sure there are. But I was talking to you the other day about, how do you identify a guy that's trying, right? How do you identify someone who's taking themselves seriously as a man and everything that entails? And there's not a lot of outward appearances, right? You go to a company party, you go to, I don't know, the DMV, like there's not a lot of outward appearances without really getting
It's
in.
not like you have a neon sign saying, I care about masculinity.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I mean, you really have to like be around a guy, see how his wife talks to him, see how he treats his kids, see how he, what he's like at work. Is he trying? And those things are hard to gauge.
Right. And they require a lot of time together.
Yeah. It's really hard to gauge what quality of person you're dealing with. But there is one thing, I think, that you can see outwardly, like, does this guy take himself seriously? And it's how good a shape is he in, right? That's something that you can't buy.
Can't outsource it.
You can't outsource it. It is what it is.
Yep.
And so I think as a first, or one of our early on challenges, I think that's why I was excited to do it. It's somewhere where I know I'm showing up, to use a term, that I'm showing up in a lot of areas of my life, but this is an area I could do better. And I think a lot of us have worked at this in different, or given this a shot, and we always have this half-hearted, I'm going to do better at this. I can get around to this. And that's kind of why I'm excited about it, is because I do have this belief in the back of my mind that in the moment that I decide to take care of it and get in better shape, like, I can do that. I can turn that on in a couple months. I can have it done.
And now it's no longer on the back burner.
Now it's no longer on the back burner. If we put it out there, we've got a test, we've got a number, we're going for something, like, I feel like I've got to pay attention to it.
Awesome. Well, and I think that's a fun idea too, because we'll still do it for the month. And then depending on where we are, maybe it's one of these things where we look at and say, this is going to be a secondary challenge that we continue, and we're going to go get another scan at the end of the year because we're entering the last quarter of the year and we see what we can do with 3 months as opposed to just 4 weeks.
And I feel like it cuts out a lot of excuses, right? Like you mentioned, it's easy to say, I weigh X because I've been lifting a lot, so I'm
on a bulk.
I'm on a bulk, right? I'm bulking. But
to 175.
But the numbers don't lie. I supposedly, right?
Right.
Like, I think these things are trustworthy.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because we're doing them under the same conditions, so they will at least be equally untrustworthy, but they're pretty trustworthy.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're skinny fat or you're bulking, you can't hide in this one.
Well, it is. It's so nice that and again, the whole idea of the challenge and Project M and everything else, because my health and my concern for this stuff has been something that's been prominent in my mind for the last 5 or 6 years, but it's never been competitive.
Right.
And the fact that it's no longer just my own internal compass of, are you gonna be on point with this stuff? Are you gonna be dedicated to it? But the fact that not only are you holding me accountable, but you guys are holding me accountable, and we have to see that kind of progress. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that pressure. Right. I think that's going to be a good thing for both of us.
So I don't know. Do you have any idea of like what we can expect? Like what's realistic in a month? Do you and how?
Ooh, that's a good question, especially because we could do it. You could game it for this challenge.
Right.
Where you could get crazy stupid low, and it would be miserable, and then 3 days after we're done, you could basically treat it like show prep.
Of course,
right? Where you're eating nothing but chicken and broccoli, and you're at 1,100 calories, and you're doing tons of cardio.
Right.
I'm not interested in that.
Right.
I don't think you are either.
Right.
So I would say most people would say that you're good to lose, depending on where you are from a body fat percentage, anywhere from 1 to maybe 2.5 pounds of fat per week.
Please consult your medical professional.
Right. Yeah, we should actually say this on everything. You guys are invited to do this stuff with us. We are under no legal... we'll figure out the right legal disclaimers on this kind of stuff, because this is an invitation. And if you get hurt, or if you're stupid about how you do this, or you're doing stuff that you talk to your doctor, talk to somebody who's who's gonna have your best interest, because we're just doing this ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is total bro science.
Exactly. we'll have something more official tied in here somewhere on both of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. But from what I understand from guys within the fitness community, as far as sustainable fat loss and stuff like that, depending on where you are, it's anywhere from 1 pound to 2.5 pounds a week.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 weeks, 5 pounds, 10 pounds.
Okay, we'll have to see what that translates to.
Right, from a percent, yeah. And again, what's fun is that we both know coming out of this that it's not like ripped,
right,
shredded 6-pack.
I'm gonna game it.
Are you?
I hope you don't think I'm doing something that like I actually plan on. Like, I'm gonna be better, sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always gonna be better.
Right.
But I'm definitely gonna set
You're
my
gonna
sight
go a
for
little
30
harder.
days.
Yeah.
Like, my targets are 30 days on this one.
Cool.
And then we'll see at 30 days.
Right, where you are, and yeah, do you have to yo-yo back a little bit to
Right.
get back into something more? Okay, so you're going to hire a nutritionist? You're going to keep working with your coach?
No,
like what?
I'm too cheap for that. No, I'm not going to hire anyone.
Yeah.
I think diet will, I think that's the most unsustainable thing that I'll probably.
Yeah, because you're not tracking your macros or anything like that right now, are you?
No.
Dude, you're going to see such a big difference just from paying attention to that little amount of stuff.
I'm just not going to eat, though. I'm just going to.
Ugh.
No.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what we can do for 30 days.
Yep. Okay, so if you guys want to do this, what we have found is if we do it at one of the local universities, we're going up to the University of Utah.
Yep.
Bod Pod apparently is cheaper than a DEXA scan, right?
DEXA scan's more thorough. I looked at the comparisons of they had example PDFs that you could look at on the websites. DEXA scan gives you all sorts of information that the Bod Pod doesn't do.
Right.
It's about double-ish.
Okay.
cost.
So obviously do whatever you want.
Yeah, do
One of the
whatever you
reasons we're doing the Bod Pod is because we know we're getting started with this. And so for you guys who are looking for a lower barrier of entry, then you can do that with us and just look at kind of the basic things.
It gives us the metrics that we're tracking.
Exactly.
Right?
But if you want to do a DEXA scan, by all means do it. So we're going to do that this week. And then we're going to, within 4 weeks, we're going to go do it again. And we're going to see what kind of progress we can make.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what's even possible in a month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is our September challenge. We invite you guys to join us. If you want to watch as we make progress and figure out how we're going to be promoting this progress and stuff like that, follow us on Instagram, which is at Enter Project M.
Enter Project M.
Yep, and so we're going to be posting up stuff there as we're doing our training, and I can't wait to watch the videos of Brandon making kale shakes.
Yeah.
And that kind of, and you just learning how to do social media that way.
Yikes.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but follow us there, and if you guys decide to do it, please tag us in and let us know what you're doing as far as what your starting percentages are. Are you trying to lose fat or put on muscle, or what is that going to look like for you guys? Because, we're excited to have you guys who come do it with us in real time.
I'd love to see the different strategies, whether it is starve yourself or just run yourself to death.
Gosh.
Or, I don't know. What are the other strats?
Well, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing that I'm doing, because it's been working.
Okay.
I mean, again, it helps. I'm running a half marathon halfway through this, and
Yeah.
so it's long runs and more cardio and that kind of stuff. But I'll be more diligent about not eating extra crap.
Yeah.
Because I've done a no sugar thing for August. My wife and I have done that,
Right.
and I think I'm going to keep that up because I've noticed a big difference there.
Mm-hmm.
So just those little things.
Yeah, I'd love to see someone. Yeah, I don't know what the best IF or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I've been doing that. That's what's funny is you kind of take for granted all these other little different strategies. Did you do intermittent fasting at all?
No.
That's been a fun one for me. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So we're excited to see what we're going to be able to come up with on this. I think you're going to beat me on this one.
We'll see what the metric we set is.
Yeah.
Something.
That's such a lame way of pansying out about it. Just say, I'm going to beat you.
If it was, just raw percentage-wise, yeah. No contest.
Yeah.
But that gives me no joy.
Anyway, it's going to be fun to see how we do. It's going to be fun to see how you guys do. So we're excited to share this with you. We're going to do another episode where we're going to talk a little bit more about what our strategies are, how things are going, and then obviously talk about other things beyond just the challenge, but what Project M is.
Yeah.
But tag us in it. Go follow us on Instagram, at Enter Project M, and we'll talk to you guys on the next episode.
We'll talk to you later.
See you guys.
Bye.